any of you want to say about it?
Just one word. You know, conflicts are reality of our life, and of course, the main part of any literature works. No story about any conflict. Even you know, easiest topic, for example, when we talk love story. Two person they meet, they love each other, they have children. It can't be. We need a conflict.
But I'm just a slow thinker. Is that often the way I get through it is to think of who I am and who I want to be in this world. If that sounds quite dramatic, but it is. It's often if I think, oh, if I'm gonna include this, what will happen? What are the repercussions for me, or for my family, or for who I am as a human being? What does this say about me? And often I have to just like reach into myself and think, who am I and what do I stand for? All my love, all my fears about what this might be, and just to put it down and let it out in the world, because I know it came from an intention of where I'm trying to be true to myself. So whatever happens after that, it's if that answers it in a way. I took it as a deeper.
Yeah, it's a big, I mean, there are about 10 questions there. I think we could almost do 10 panel sessions. I mean, Hamid, I think I know what you're going to say, but I might be surprised. You often surprise me. Yeah, you often surprise me, so I wouldn't dream of it. But you often surprise me when I think I know what you're going to say. So, do you feel conflicts when you write? Do you feel an inner conflict?
No, I would rather say angst.
So we come back to the title, that's very neat.
I would rather say angst because, you know, it's like snowball, basically. It starts with some feeling, not the conflict, let's say. I'll give you an example. The book which is called The Underground, it was called in Russian Bobo, but in English it was published as The Underground. So it started with one sleepless night in Moscow. I came to Moscow in 1997, maybe, you know. No, not 1997, 2007. Leaving Moscow in 1992. Yeah, to the same flat. So everything was the same, but they were missing 12 years or something like that, yeah, from my life. So that was the snow behind the window was the same, the feelings were the same, the dust was the same, so everything was the same, yeah? But missing 12 years, yeah? Where did they go, yeah? So that was the initial angst, yeah? And then I started coming back to London, I started to think about this particular feeling. And the most sort of, you know, acute feeling was about my daughter, who spent her childhood in Moscow at that time. And she was a subject of many racial sort of, you know, things and so on and so forth. She used to bring them to our home. I started to write about that one. At the same time, while in Moscow, I was thinking about the sort of, you know, underground. Because when in big metropolises, you don't know the surface of the city. You know it by the underground. You know, here you met your wife, for example. Here your first book came out, and so on and so forth. Stations, yeah, stations of the underground. So I wanted to devote something to the underground. That came together with my daughter. Then I scribbled sort of 50 pages, but I found the tone repeating myself myself from the other thing. I tore everything apart, and all of a sudden it clicked. It should be Pushkin. You know, Pushkin nowadays, he should feel that sort of, you know, being the all for Russians, he should feel this racial inequality, racial pressures, and everything. If Pushkin lives now, yeah, as a boy. So it turned out into